r/ask Reddit. What trend did you follow as a kid that makes you cringe now? You guys remember in the early mid 2000s when we all had graphic tees with stick figures that said sarcastic things? Yep, I was hoping you guys forgot. I had a shirt that said you laugh because I'm different. I laugh because you're all the same. The irony here is that I was still trying to fit in with the alternative kids and the shirt was part of the uniform. I had one that said zombies eat brains. You are safe. I had one that said I don't argue, I just explain why I'm right. I was so full of it when I was really young. I used to wear those black button down shirts with fire at the bottom. Like the kind Guy Fieri wears. I don't know if it was an actual trend or not, but it still makes me cringe. I swear. 2006 to 2012 teen fashion was some kind of twisted, unkempt version of the 80s. I had 6 or 7 pairs of fingerless gloves. Being mean to the slightly annoying kid just trying to fit in. Oof. I remember being slightly mean to another kid for that reason. He was also in my Boy Scout troop, where we got along fine because it wasn't school. One day him and his father got in a car crash and he didn't make it. It was the first funeral I ever attended and I cried hard. I talked to his dad years later and he was still a shell of a man. Try not to make life hard for each other is what I learned. It's too short. I'm glad you got along fine with him and Boy Scouts and saw him as a friend. He would have appreciated it. Sometimes, kids and adults care way too much about being cool that they forget about things that truly matters. In my day, we put as much gel in our hair as we could and angled it up like a ski slope. Hair was solid as a rock. I didn't really understand this at first, so I just put a bunch of gel in my hair but didn't do the ski slope or other styling. It was just a normal rounded haircut that I'm pretty sure would also count as a bicycle helmet. How nice. I tried to limit my ski slope to bunny hill level. I honest to God had a mullet and I wore cut off tank tops. My little brother is in high school, and this is making a weird comeback. Maybe it's because we live in a semi-rural area, but he and his buddies all look like these weird ducking hillbilly clones. Mullets, cut off tanks, athletic shorts, and boots. They also pine over classic Camaros and El Caminos. Hey, nothing against classic Camaros. They're beautiful. Guy down the street sold his perfectly restored one when I was in uni. Took me everything I had not to drop out to afford it. Yo Camino rocked. Guy. Wearing skirts over jeans sad. OMG, I just had to shout that memory out of my head. After I stopped with the jeans, I did the leggings with the denim skirt combo. Buying and trading silly bands. There was an elementary school black market for little rubber bands. I was a kingpin when it came to silly bands. I lived right across the street from convenience store. Were you one of those kids who had their entire arm covered in silly bands? They flexed hard. I bought into the classic 90s trends that immediately come to mind. The butterfly clips, frosted lips and eyes, platform shoes, all very Spice Girls. I am having to relive it because my 12-year-old is now into the same things. Except instead of pulling back strands of hair with butterfly clips, she's clipping them haphazardly throughout her entire mane. I cannot wait for the trend to die. Oh my god. I spent hours practicing butterfly clip styles. So much separating with a fine-tooth comb, zigzag parts, and twisting, and getting the little front dangly bits just right. How does the back of my head look? Whatever, it's probably fine. I had a long belt that hung down over my crotch like an elephant trunk. Also wore gym shorts under my jeans for pickup games even though I only ever played 3v3 with my friends on the weekend. LOL. LOL, I remember that trend with the belt. We had a rule in my middle school that our belts had to be the proper length and I once got in trouble for having a belt hang down. Bowl cuts. There was definitely a bowl cut hierarchy going on in my middle school. I remember Mike had like the Mercedes of bowl cuts. Meanwhile I was sporting the Ford Focus . He had the fine porcelain bowl and you had the plastic Tupperware. Late 90s when everything had stripes on the side. Shirts, jeans. Yeah, that and the ball chain necklace. Nothing said suave like a popped collar on a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. You mean you only had one collar? All the cool kids I knew wore at least 2 polos. The coolest wore 3, usually hot pink, neon green, and electric blue. I still see people that wear their polos with popped collars. Why? Mostly older European men who smell strongly of aftershave at my gym who work out in them. For me, JNCOs. I wanted a chain wallet, but my mom wouldn't let me have one. I now understand why. I had JNCOs and a chain wallet that I made longer with a dog choker chain. Went down to my ankles. I was not nearly as cool as I convinced myself I was. Early 2000s when wearing two belt was a thing for a bit. Neither in the belt loops. Totally non-functional. What, like, crossed, like a gunslinger? Exactly. Big Johnson t-shirts. Damn, I was a douche. I use Bath and Body Works roll-on glitter religiously. Cucumber melon obviously. But I used so much of it that instead of having a little sparkle under my eyes, my skin was tinted green and caked with glitter. About once every 3-4 years I smell cucumber melon from B&BW and have a flashback to the late 90s and my high school girlfriend. So much cucumber melon lotion. The Naruto bandana. I found mine at my parents' house recently. Did you find your virginity as well? No, he never lost that. I mean, really looking at it now, crotch chopping and telling people to suck it was really my generation's version of the dab. D-Generation X. Tight rolling jeans, slap bracelets, hyper collar shirts. The thing where you would keep one sleeve long and the other one rolled up. My middle school basketball team did that, but with the sweatpants we wore before games. We thought we were so cool. Didn't 2000s rappers do this a lot? I have a picture in my mind of Nelly doing that for some reason, lol. But with shirts it just seems weird. Studded belts. Studded belts everywhere. JNCO jeans, bleached spiky hair, and a puka shell necklace. Baggy clothes, buying everything L size when I should have been wearing S. Not really a trend, but when I was 16 or so, I kept a condom in my wallet, just in case. The damn condom was in there for so long, it eventually wore a faded circle into the pocket of my jeans. I cringe now, wondering what people must have thought of me, walking around so oblivious. I followed the emo trend. I didn't think mascara got my eyelashes thick and black enough, so I used black nail polish. With all the polish that pulled into my eyes, I'm surprised I'm not blind. Sagging my pants because a kid told me you don't have to wear them that high, and I was afraid of being bullied for high waters after that. Thinking that my clothes had to have a polo, couldn't be USPA logo on it, or be plastered with a Abercrombie & Fitch, Aeropostale, American Eagle. Still wear their jeans though, lol. I love the stretch ones they make, or Hollister logos all over it for it to be considered swag. Also, my obsession with Jordan shoes, often dreaming of the day I'd be able to buy 100s of them. I was so obsessed with trying to dress a certain way to appear trendy. Now I couldn't care less about that stuff, lol. I rock clothing from Walmart. Those color assorted t-shirt packs are great, lol. And H&M, and until my shoes, usually Vans, give out entirely, I keep wearing them. It's all fun when your parents are spending their money, but as I got older, I realized I didn't have money to be wasting on useless stuff like a Jordan collection right now, lol. Bonus. I was one of the many people that dyed their hair like Odell Beckham when he first came into the league. Didn't even know who he was at first. Thought he was a linebacker, but he had cool hair, so I got to just like his blonde curly mohawk thing. I was the first one at my school to do it and people thought it was the coolest thing, lol. Then it caught on. Kids asked me how I did it and were telling me I looked like Odell. And almost every boy was walking around with blonde dyed hair later that year in my school, lol. I feel like a lot of girls went through the phase of dressing like a boy, you know, hating dresses in the color pink and wanting to be different. Well, I took it a step further. I'd wear ties with all my outfits and pretend I was really into Hot Wheels and shit like that. YTF did I do that? It literally makes my whole being cringe just thinking back to that time. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.